I hope all of you guys will enjoy what we're learning today. If you have any doubts, ask all the questions in the chat and I will answer your questions, okay? So before we start what we're going to do, I'm going to tell you guys what are the things that we need. Okay? So I'm going to tell you guys what things I am using, and if you guys don't have it, I will give you guys an alternative. Okay? So listen carefully and we can start. So the first thing that we need will be a pencil and a drawing paper. Okay, it would be nice if you have any thick watercolor paper or something, but I don't think everybody will have it. You can use any normal drawing sheets, okay, that you have. I'm using an A4 size sheet. You can use a small or a big, any size you want. Use any size you want, but use a drawing sheet. Okay, the next thing that we're going to use is paint. I am using acrylic paint. Okay, these are acrylic paints that I'm going to use. Okay, it's not necessary which color you guys have to use. You can change the color. I am going to use just 2 or 3 colors, but the main important color that everybody will be needing will be white color. Okay, other than white color, you guys are free to change all the other colors that I am going to use. Okay, so if you don't have acrylic paint, you guys can use poster paint or water paint. Okay, watercolors, any of that, you are free to use that. Okay, and then what we need is paint brushes. So I have 3 round paint brushes. You guys can use similar paint brushes. If you have only one paintbrush, don't worry, use only one. Just make sure that once you use one color with your paintbrush, when you're using the next one, clean or wash your paintbrush well. The next thing that we need will be a palette. If you don't have a palette, any surface will also do, like an old container that you have is good. You can use an old container. Okay, so this palette we're going to use to mix all our paint or colors. Okay, we're going to mix a few colors to create new colors or different colors or something more exciting. And so we're going to use a palette. And last but not the least, we need a container filled with water. I'm using a very small container. This is to, make your paint more loose. You have to mix it with water and to mix colors as well. So keep a container with water. Make sure you don't spill it on your work. Okay, and now these are all the materials that we need. In case you have difficulty with your paint spilling or it going anywhere, you can use tissue paper, just some tissue paper to clean the surface or clean your water or paint. Okay, so these are the things that we will require to start this work. So are you excited? We'll start the work. Does everybody have all your items? I hope all of you guys have everything around you. So we can just start it. So we're not going to do a very detailed drawing, or it's not going to be like a very thing, but we are going to focus more on painting, how we are going to use the paint and how we are going to create the whole work. So we are just going to do a very simple drawing. Okay, it won't look like a flower. Okay, but we're going to use that as a guide. Okay, so the first step that we're going to do is we have to draw 3 circles on this sheet of paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my first circle at the bottom in the center over here. Okay, this is my first circle. My second circle will be a little to the left, a little more smaller one. Okay, and my last third circle will be on top here, okay, to the right side, and this will be a bigger circle. Okay, so you remember we did the exercise how we drew the circle. Similarly, we are going to draw these 3 circles. Now these 3 circles will be where our flowers are going to be. Okay, this is the position our flower is going to be. Okay, so can everybody see? Should I make my circle a little more darker? Yes. Can I get Can somebody, mention in the comments if I can, I mean, in the chat, whether you can see my circles well. I'll just darken it for you. Okay. Okay. So these are our circles, and this is where our flower is gonna be. So now we're gonna do the fun part. Okay. So listen very carefully to what I say and follow my instructions very carefully, okay? So we don't want to make any mistakes because it's paint and we won't be able to erase it off very easily. I don't want you guys to make mistakes. So we're going to take our palette and we're going to take our colors. So I am going to use red color. Okay, I'm going to use red color for my first flower. Okay, I'm going to use red and white. You guys can use any other color that you like, but I want to use red and white. Okay, so what I am going to do is I'm going to take a brush, a paint brush, and pick paint from my paint bottle. So this is the red color that I have. And I'm going to take my paint brush and take a little bit of paint and put it on my palette. Can you see how I'm picking up the paint and putting it in the palette? Okay, I'm gonna do that. Okay. I hope all of you guys are done with that. Okay. So now once I've put it in the palette, I'm gonna take my container with water. I have my container. I'm just gonna slightly dip my paintbrush in the water. Slightly, just that much, just once. Okay. And I'm gonna mix the water with my paint. Can you see how I'm mixing it? I will show it to you closer. I'm just gonna mix my paint like that. Once I'm done, so this is the tricky part where you have to create petals. Okay, so to create these petals, what I'm gonna do is look at my paintbrush. I'm gonna keep the tip first and pull it in like that. Okay, I will repeat it again. Keep the tip of your paintbrush on top and pull your paintbrush inside like that. So we are going to keep making these petals in a U shape. So I did one like this and one like this. So keep drawing a U, make big and small petals like that. It can overlap each other. Just keep making U shapes. One this side and one on the other side. One this side, one on the other side. And it is okay if your petals are outside your circle. Okay, when it comes to the bottom, what we are going to do is we are going to keep the petals like this. Okay, so it's very simple. I will repeat my instructions once again for anybody who didn't understand it first time. We are going to take a paintbrush and we're going to slightly touch the top, press it down and pull it out like that. Slightly touch the top, press it down and pull it like that. Okay. Okay, so I think some people are not able to see my work that well. I take a brush and move it on your paper, one line, that is called a stroke. So I'm trying to teach you all how to use brush strokes or how to have brush control. And so the best way is to hold your brush in your most comfortable position and be free, be very, make it look easy, don't make it difficult for you. Just whichever is the easiest way you want to move your brush, just move it that way. Okay, so now that I've done a few red petals, what I'm going to do is I am going to take a little white and I'm going to mix it to this red. Okay, to make a different colored petal in the same flower, because the color of the petal in a flower is always not always the same. Some petals will be bright red, where some will be a little more dull or a little more, lighter than that. So for that, I'm going to take another brush and add white to my red. Okay. And I am just going to mix the paint. I added white and I'm going to mix it. And I'm going to just do the same stroke again. Okay. Okay. You have to keep making strokes. So until we finish the whole circle, until we cover the whole circle, we're going to do this. And if you feel like your red and everything is looking same or clustered together, use more whites to make the color different. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add more white to my paint so that it looks a lot different. I'm going to mix it. Going to mix the white and the red so that it makes the color a little more pink, little more light. And I'm just gonna keep making petals. Okay, just like that. Just strokes. We are trying to control our brush with our hand. I hope you guys are able to figure it out. Okay, just relax your hand muscle and pull your paintbrush in. Okay, just like that. Okay, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the white paint directly. Okay, just white paint and give a few more strokes. Can you see it? It will mix with the color which is underneath and make it look like it is a gradation and give the flower more character. Okay, so here we have. So now if you feel like you want to add a little more darker petal or something like that, go ahead, take your paint and fill in the whole flower. So now I have my first flower. Okay, it's like a flower with a lot of petals. Okay, I will give you guys 5-10 minutes to complete this so that we can start with the next flower, which is also going to be similar. Okay, but we're going to use different colors for it. So is everybody able to do this painting? I want to know if you guys have any doubts. You can ask me in the chat and I will answer all your questions while you guys are doing this. Yeah. Okay, I think everybody is very busy doing it. I hope you guys are having fun. All those who feel that your flower is not as similar to my flower, it's totally fine. Like how Sir said, it comes with practice. This is the first time I'm trying to teach you guys how to control your brush with strokes. So I just want you guys to keep practicing it. Okay, so it's okay if it is not the same. It is totally fine if it is not the same. We have 2 more flowers to go. As you go, you will see that you're improving and you will be able to do it better. Okay, so it's okay. I hope you guys are done with the first one. We will start with the second flower. Okay. Okay, so for the second flower, I am going to use a lighter color. I'm going to use yellow. I'm going to use a yellow color to make the second flower. This is my yellow paint. Is everybody done? Should I wait for anybody? Can I repeat it? It's the same process that we did in the first flower. So you can see me do it again when I'm doing the second flower. Okay? So I'm going to start doing the second flower, and I want you guys to carefully listen to me. Okay? Once again. So what we're going to do is we're going to take yellow color paint, and I'm going to mix it in the palette with a little bit of water. Okay? So I have my water here. I'm going to dip it in once. I'm going to mix my paintbrush, and I'm going to start painting. So I will show you guys once again. Hold your paintbrush, just touch the tip first, press it down and pull it in. Okay? Press and pull. Touch the tip first, press it and pull it in. Okay? Touch the tip first, press it and pull it in. Touch the tip first, press it and pull it in. I'm just going to continue this process over and over again. So I'm going to do it a little faster than before. Okay? And I hope you all are seeing it. You can see it. Okay? And it's okay if your pencil mark is seen, because we're going to add more layers of color paint on it that it will go away. So this is my second flower, and to that I am going to add white. Gonna take a little bit of white, add my white paint to it, okay, to make it lighter. And I'm just going to go ahead and make more petals. I don't think you can see it well on the in the camera, but then it makes a difference. While you mix colors, it makes the flower look more realistic. Okay, so mix white paint to give it different effect. So the last one, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use just white color, white paint to paint it. So you can see it just mixes in, it blends in and creates a different effect. Okay, so that is my second flower. Okay, so somebody is asking me the brush size. The brush that I use to make the petals is size number 10, but it actually doesn't matter. You can use any size of your brush to paint. It doesn't matter. Okay. Okay. So I have completed 2 flowers. I'm going to do the last flower as well. Okay. In the same manner so that all of you guys can see, and I will give you guys time to complete it in the end. So my last flower will be orange color. I'm going to use an orange color paint, and I'm going to wash my brush and pick my paint and mix it. And I'm gonna create, so my orange color flower is gonna be my biggest flower. So I'm gonna make bigger U-shaped petals. Okay. Okay, so I've put my first layer. I'm gonna add white paint to it. So somebody's asking me to wait. I'm finishing all my flowers so you can see. If you are not yet done, it's okay. Just watch what I'm doing first so that you have a very good idea of what to do and continue. I will give you guys time to finish your painting. Okay. So I'm going to complete all the petals. Okay. And at last, I'm going to use just white to paint. Okay. So that will conclude the flowers. I will give you guys a 10-15 minutes to, finish painting all these flowers. And then we are going to go to another bit where we can paint the leaves, finish our painting and give it a more finishing touch. Okay. So if anybody has any question, uh, do ask it on the chat box so I can reply. Final step. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little more bigger brush. If you don't have a bigger brush, it's okay. I'm gonna use a bigger brush for the leaves. Okay. So what I am going to do is I am gonna take green color. Okay, this green color paint, and I'm gonna mix this paint in my palette. Okay, mix this paint in my palette, and I'm gonna give stems for the flowers first. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull a stem like that. It's okay if it's not that neat or straight. Okay, just to know how the flowers are together. So you can just imagine this line and draw it. This will be my stem. Okay, this is gonna get hidden with all the other leaves that are gonna come. So the size that I'm using this brush is in the size 12. Okay, so many of them are asking if you want it uh, sap green or light green. I am using sap green color. If you guys want, you can mix the light green and sap green. It's okay. Okay, so now over to doing the flowers, the leaf of the flower. What I want you guys to do is it's a little bit different from the petal. Okay, it's a similar stroke. I'm going to teach you one more stroke. That is, you're going to keep the tip of your brush, pull it a little bit, then press it, and then pull it. Okay, so you get a leaf shape. Okay, so I'll go over it once again. Okay, so it's more longer. On the top one, we did direct, suddenly we gave pressure and pulled it out. For this, we're gonna give a light tip and then do that. Okay, so it is pointy at the top. Okay, unlike that. So we're gonna keep drawing the leaves. Okay, we're gonna give small leaves coming out here, and I'm just gonna give bigger leaves onto the stem, near the stem, like that. Okay, and cover it. It should be in near the flower. Okay, your leaves should be near the flower going towards the stem. You can cover the whole thing in a very neat manner, okay? Near the flower here, down below the flower here, below the flower here, and below the flower here. Those are the three places that we're gonna put a lot of leaves, okay? So watch me do it carefully, okay? So I'm gonna add a few more leaves. Okay, you can keep adding to the tail. Okay, and it's okay if some of your leaves are on top of your flower, it doesn't matter. Okay, just do that, and you can take more paint and keep drawing more leaves. Okay, so I'm gonna try and cover this part as much as I can with different leaves so it looks like a bunch. Okay, so I'm gonna teach you guys a trick now. Okay, if you've done, like, just do a few leaves, and if you're done with it, this will be the darkest color of leaves that you have. It's okay if your brush is not that neat or the paint is fading. It's okay. Okay, like that. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my brush, and we've already mixed yellow color, right? We're gonna take a green and just mix it with the rest of the yellow color. If you used yellow color, if you didn't use yellow color before, you can add. So you get a light green now. So whenever you mix yellow with green, you get a lighter green. Okay, I'm going to use this light green to add more flowers. To add more leaves. I'm so sorry. Okay, so I'm just going to add more leaves. Can you see how light that green leaf is? And add more leaves. Okay, just add like that. Just make sure that it goes in a nice composed way, more neater. So I'm gonna add a little more, few more light green leaves to the bottom. We don't want the stem to be seen much. We can try and hide it with as many as leaves as you can. Okay, and you can add more leaves here. Okay, like the leaves are coming from below the flower. Okay, or above it. It's okay if the leaves are above it, because in a plant the leaves are everywhere. So just try to make it as realistic or however you see it outside. Okay, just give small leaves coming out. Doesn't have to be very neat or very perfect. It's just a gestural drawing, so you just have to capture. I'm going to draw as many leaves. So what I'm going to do at the last is I'm going to add a little more yellow to my green to make the lightest. I'm going to add a few more smaller leaves, a very few more smaller leaves, and I'm going to finish off my painting. Okay, just a few more, see? There, there, okay, there, there. Just slowly hold a brush and pull it. Hold a brush, pull it. Hold a brush and pull it. It doesn't have to be very neat. We're just learning how to use a brush. Okay, the first thing we are learning how to use a brush. It doesn't have to be neat. We're not trying to be as realistic as possible.